Alright, man. We're at the ending portion of this series review, and I just want to take the time again to appreciate you guys on watching this video. Like I said, this show has been reviewed countless and countless of times, and the fact that y'all sitting here watching me review a show that's been reviewed on, it just shows how much y'all appreciate your boy, and I'm gonna keep making show or movie reviews, whatever one y'all like and one that I can access to. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I just want to say thank you, and let's go ahead and talk about episode 7. So episode 7 is it's basically stuff that's coming to a head, like the relationship between Amber and Mark. Debbie and Army Man trying to sort things out. The agency trying to protect the family. It's a bunch of things that's going on, but go ahead and talk about it the best way I can, because this episode, I probably gonna get a couple things like mixed up in the process, but everything is gonna tie together. That ain't tied together in the end. So one of the first few scenes I remember, Debbie, she was in her bed. She was in her bed. She looked up to the side. She knew Army Man wasn't there. So she went downstairs. She saw the hole in the wall. And she was asking, like, why would he do it? Why, like, was they, like, originally, when I first saw Army Man take out the Guardians, I thought he was, like, possessed or something. Like, that's why I initially thought. Debbie ended up saying the same thing. She thought Army Man was possessed. And it turns out he wasn't. And he was being vague with his answers again. Instead of being like upfront with Debbie, he decided to be vague, and Debbie just kicked him out the house, and he flew on by his way. So coming from the college visit, Amber, William, and Mark, it was very awkward. Mark trying to get Amber attention. She wasn't going for it. She turned up the radio. She didn't want to hear nothing Mark had to say, because doing this, like when they actually got to the house, Amber knew that Mark was a superhero, and the fact that, like I said in previous episodes, if he was upfront with her at the beginning, none of this would have transpired. But he wasn't upfront, and that's what he get. She also felt like she wasn't trusted enough, because why would you not reveal your biggest secrets to your girlfriend? I don't know. That's weird to me. It's a couple instances. Let me see. He said she already knew a couple weeks in advance. It was something else he said that was significant. But yeah, so Mark had to fly away, and it's really just hurting him, because she thought she could actually trust Mark with stuff, but it looked like it wasn't reciprocated on the other end. So once Army Man dipped from Debbie's house, the agency, well, she was about to call Mark to try to protect Mark from potentially Army Man trying to talk to him or something like that. But, she got a voicemail from Mark, and because, Mark was dealing with his own problems. But, yeah, that's when the agency decided to appear and say, look, listen, you have to come with us, and so we can protect you. And then it was a scene where Mark and William was at a restaurant or something. I believe it was where the place Mark had worked at. I think they ordered some food or something. He basically tried to do anything he can to cheer up Mark, and Mark is really still down. He was still very affected by this. So yeah, really nothing was working. But yeah, then there was a couple scenes where the agency with Cecil, he knew that Army Man did before really anybody knew. But he unfortunately had to tell. Well, I would say before the devil, not before the devil detective, because the devil detective told him, and that's what caused him to look more into it and look like Army Man did to his eyes. So yeah, he ended up telling Debbie. He basically apologized for what happened, because nobody really knew what was the motive behind Army Man doing the stuff he was doing. Not at all. yeah, that's where we go to a scene where Mark is trying to find Adam Eve. Well, actually, before that, Adam Eve, she woke up in her bed because apparently she got like a little treehouse stuff going on. She woke up, she did a little superhero stuff. I think she wore some points or something like that. I could be wrong, but yeah, but Mark, he was looking for Adam Eve because he wanted advice on his Amber situation because he really haven't experienced nothing like this before. He's trying to get somebody from a perspective of a woman. Like that's what you usually do. Like if something you don't know how to manage, you probably go to somebody that probably do know how to manage and probably know how the gender thinks, right? So yeah. So yeah, we go to a scene where Omni Man was basically talking to himself like on like a mountain type deal. And he was trying to like practice some, he was basically trying to practice what he would say to Mark to like apologize to try to get his good graces. So eventually him and Mark can go with the wheelchair and try to be, dominant over there or whatever. And yeah, he basically flew off in his quest of looking for Mark, and that's what the agency was trying to make sure to prevent. So watch out for that. Then we go to the scene with Robot. When I told y'all, I believe in episode 5 or 6 that he was in his quest of trying to become a human and trying to have feelings and stuff. Well, yeah, this is the ending phase of that right here. And those two blue villains that was like at the episode 1 that he released in episode 3, well, they helped him out. Robot had the little human like type organism, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, he basically had that. Then he had the robot version of himself. So they fused together and they ended up becoming a human. So yeah. So yeah, after that, they fused the robot and human version of robot. They decided to, try to strike a deal with robot, try to, get him free or something like that. But robot was not letting him off the hook. He ended up having backup robots, and then when the big blue villains try to take them out, he ended up having like a transformer type robot deal. And bro, and that fight scene was going on. Then we come on to the next scene. Then we see Homie Man try to go back to the house. He tried to find Mark. He tried to find Debbie. Then all of a sudden, we saw a bunch of like cops from the agency start shooting them and stuff. And that wasn't gonna work with Omni Man. Omni Man easily took them out, and I believe he sensed that somebody else was in the area that he found Dawn in another house. And while Dawn was trying to do something, he had a couple. He put up a good fight. Then he just blew up the house because Omni Man was getting too close, and they really had no effect on Omni Man whatsoever after he blew up the house. So he's still on his quest to find Mark, and Mark, like I said, he was looking for advice for Adam Eve. He ended up finding Adam Eve, and they went to like a look, like was it a treehouse or was it like a rock or something on the ocean? I forgot which one it was. But yeah, they was in there talking. But yeah, like I said, in the process, Omni Man, he was trying to find Mark, and guess what? He stumbled upon his best friend William, and he basically gave him a tone like, bro, you better tell me something or you're going to get taken up, big dog. So William ended up telling Omni Man what was going on, where was Mark and stuff, and Omni Man was on his quest to find Mark. So we come to the other scene, and then we come back to Robot, right? So we come back to Robot after he got like a little signal that the agency needs him. He decided to abandon that fight with the two blue villains, and they dipped out and they went to the headquarters, that you could say, and they was like everybody that was a part of the New Guardians. They was shocked because they didn't know what they were seeing. They was very shocked, and Monster Girl, she was like really offended by it because she said, "How can you work? How can you conspire with villains that should have been locked up? Why would you set them free?" You think folks is going to accepting DNA from Rex's, all that, all types of crazy stuff that need to be answered. And Robot thought he was gonna be just fine, but the actual humans that was actually humans, they was not like accepting of him right away. And then we saw a video of Cecil telling the Guardians to stand down, stay back, because they don't want them to get involved in this big situation that's about to come up. So, yeah, so I don't know what happened, but it was like a moment where the two blue villains, they activated something because they thought Immortal was like, it was going to like help them out or something like that. But now Immortal was on his case, was not on his case, on his chase to find Omni Man, because Omni Man originally killed him. So he was doing that after he escaped that little warehouse setting, I believe. Then we see the scene where Omni Man is like on their trail. He was on Adam Eve and Mark trail. Then we see Immortal just stuck him right in the jaw. They had a little back and forth going on. Then we see this little like Squidward looking, not Squidward, but like this squid looking villain. And that was a contested fight, because Omni Man would have to fight between that thing and the Immortal. That was a back and forth. And then when Mark, he saw his dad was in trouble, because he, like I said, he didn't know what was going on, that Omni Man ended up killing the Guardians or whatsoever. So yeah, he wanted to protect his dad from the squid looking creature or whatever. And then after that, the more he tried to get in here whatsoever, but Omni Man went ahead, took him out once again. And then Mark was just looking puzzled, like, why would you do that? And then the scene ends where, oh, we have to talk. And yeah, that's what takes us to episode 8. I almost said season 8. So episode 8, this is the big fight scene between Omni Man and Mark, aka Invincible. And yeah, this is like a mismatch from jump, because what we knew from the previous 7 episodes, that Mark, he really didn't know how to control his powers at all, and he didn't really wasn't fully developed as a superhero. So but it was a couple sound bites that was pretty interesting to me. So Omni Man, he definitely explained the full truth this time between who he really is and why he's here. So he said he is from a planet called Viltrum, but in the process, they are people that take out the weak, and then once they get down to the actual strong people, that's the people that's going to survive. And then they have like this little officer's branch or something like that. They get sent plans on who to weaken, and Omni Man was sent to Earth to weaken Earth. So he told him that, and then he said he couldn't tell his mom because she was obviously gonna be broken up about it. But Mark just didn't understand like what was going on, bro. Because in any situation, your dad just start crashing out on folks for no reason. Yeah, you're going to be hurt, and you're going to be like very like shocked by it, because you wouldn't expect somebody you would know to even do stuff like that. I so wouldn't. So yeah, Mark, he got in a couple punches. I want to say, well, it was a total mismatch, but he definitely got a couple punches in. But as he took the couple punches in, that's when Omni Man dished out like a 10-piece right out there. So yeah, and then they had like a scene where they went through a train, buildings and stuff like that. He just couldn't put up a fight. He just wasn't developed yet as a superhero. And then if they he said something that was also very like mind boggling, because he said if it'll come down to his job and what he believe in and his family, he would choose his job over his family. Basically saying he really didn't care about the family. Mark was like very like disappointed he heard that. Debbie, she was broken up about it. She ended up crying and stuff because she couldn't believe what she was hearing. Then, like I said, they went through trains, buildings, and stuff. There was a moment where they Mark was like on a rock or something like that. Then yeah, then Omni Man was giving him like the business. He was getting all types of punches in, and yeah, that's where Omni Man had to slow himself down because he didn't really want to kill Mark. Deep down, he did not want to kill Mark, and he felt. And it's just so weird to me that he just cared about more of his job than the actual family that he was raising. But yeah, Omni Man flew off back to Viltrum. Um, Mark, he ended up getting attention from the medical staff. Then the Guardians, the new Guardians, they were sent down to help clean up Earth to make sure. Well, I don't think they were sent down. I think they snuck out to clean Earth, and yeah, it's all over the news and stuff. And folks is like very broken up about it. And it was a scene between where Mark fully recovered, and he was talking to his friends William, Amber, Al Eve. They was talking about life and stuff, and Mark was very broken up about the situation. He really didn't know how to express himself. So yeah, that's basically the gist of episode 8. Now, the reason why it was so short because there's really nothing to talk about. There was a couple sound bites that was very important that I want to get into, but this fight overall really disappointed me because I wanted Omni Man to not Omni Man. I wanted Mark to give him a few more hits, dog. Like, make it more competitive, but it just wasn't competitive. It was mostly, like, key sound bites here and there. And, yeah, that's why I really didn't get into it. So, yeah. And I would review season 2, but it hasn't fully came out yet. I don't want to review a half season of a show. I just don't want to do that. So, yeah. When that comes out, I'm going to review season 2. So yeah, if you guys like this video, damn my voice. But yeah, if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and this is your boy Trill, and I'm out. Appreciate you guys for watching.